Everyone can do this look, but can you look different than everybody else and do it faster?
On this exercise, we're going to be cutting a long hair with long layers. First, add some cutting lotion to prepare the hair. To section the hair, use the comb as a reference to divide the hair from the front to the back.
This is the only section I use to do any long hairstyles. Use the comb as a reference as you learned on the Deconstruction course. I would separate the front to the back on the ideal costume spot for each client. Repeat the same technique on the opposite side. It might be in a different spot on the head. No one head is the same, and in the fact, every single head is asymmetrical, so there's no symmetry in between one side and the other. On a perfect mannequin head is always symmetrical behind the ear in both sides. Stop and section the hair.
To cut the perimeter on the back area, we'll be using the French cutting technique and we'll have the client stand up. It's very important that my eye level is at the same height as where I'm going to be cutting. Using the octagon as a reference, divide the center part from the right and the left.
I tilt the head forward when I try to create a soft oval on the shape on the length.
Using the French cutting technique, comb the whole piece on the center and cut it straight.
Keep the head straight if you want a straight line on the length. I like to establish the length on the center of the octagon on the back.
To continue cutting a straight line, maintain your body in the same position, bring the hair back and cut it straight. Don't move your body to the side, this will make the shape round.
I'm using a long format scissors. It's important to use a tool that is making a straight line possible without pushing the hair. As I mentioned, the shape will be round, based on the head position, but it will still be soft and even in both sides. This will be very obvious on a real client, where the skin stretches up and down.
If you don't want a straight line on the back, move your body to the side, cut a diagonal back and create a soft oval. Another great way to get a soft oval on the back is having the head going forward and cut a straight line. When it comes back, it's going to be a soft oval with an undercut.
Stop and cut the back. The frame on the sides is going to end at the length that we cut on the back at the end of the corner.
To cut the frame, comb the hair on natural fall and start at the point that you like and connect it to the perimeter.
Connect these 2 points. Based on the sectioning that we did, it will be just behind the ear. You can use a slide cutting technique from short to long with the razor, the shears, or the clippers. As you can see here, you can use the twin comb technique to cut this hair with the razor or the shears. Control the panel on natural fall, using the comb with the teeth facing you first to control the hair and then locking it with the other one going forward. Move the combs to the position where you want to start the beginning of the frame. Slide down from the top to the bottom to connect behind the ear where we finish the perimeter on the back.
To practice on this first side, we're going to be using the razor and freeform cutting. Obviously, when you do a climb, you gotta choose the razor or the shear, whatever you think is going to be best. On the other side, we're going to be using the shears to cut the same thing. We'll find the guide and cut from short to long.
I recommend you do these passes 2 times to confirm that you didn't miss any hair.
For long hairstyles with layers, it's better if you cut first the perimeter and cut the layers when it's dry. In my opinion, this is the best way to do it.
Stop and cut the sides.
To blow dry the hair, I would suggest that you use a round brush, giving a little bit of direction on the roots and a little bit of direction on the ends.
For any long to medium length, use these steps. I like to start on the sides, traveling from the bottom up, 2 or 3 sections depending on the density of the hair and the shape that I want to create. 3 sections when I want to create waves and 2 when I want to make it straight. Or 3 sections when it's a high density of hair or 2 when it's not much.
When you blow dry the hair, it's very important you use a blow dryer with a nozzle. This part is going to be allowing you to control the hair and get it smooth and give you the volume that you need.
If you are using a cocoa blow dryer or any blow dryer with ions, make sure you turn off the ions to get more shape and volume. Use the cold button to lock in the shape. Heat is going to expand any material and cold is going to contract it. That is why we use heat to smooth and shape the hair and cold to lock in the shape. Once I get done with the sides, I like to continue on the top of the head. This way your client gets to see how the hair is looking, and then you get to dry the most important part of the style first before start creating shapes that you don't want. Use the same techniques on the back, going from the bottom up, starting up on the nape. Stop and blow dry the hairstyle.
To cut the layers, we're going to be using the condensed cutting technique with the twin combs. So I'm going to be using 2 combs to compress the hair and cut the layers from short to long.
To establish the length of the layers, I will cut the center back of the octagon first. You can do some elevation on the hair or you can cut it based on natural fall.
Always talk to your client about where you want to start those layers.
Continue cutting the layers by cutting the two sides on the back panels. Take the perimeter out of the equation when you cut the layers to maintain the density on the perimeter.
Cut first the center piece on the octagon, then the right and then the left. For even layers all throughout, make sure your body is always in front of the section you're cutting.
Here you can see the effect that we have created on the back layers just by cutting 3 sections on the back.
To cut the layers on the sides, separate the perimeter area and around the ear so you can only cut the layers on the top part of it.
To cut the sides, we will use the same technique. Remove the perimeter and comb the hair in natural fall. To start the layers, use as a reference the length that we create on the layers on the back.
Use your guide as a reference and cut from short to long to connect to the perimeter. If you want to soften a little bit more the haircut, you can actually cut a few more layers on the top, on the weight area, so it gets a little softer.
If you feel it's needed, do some blending on the top. Stop and cut the layers. Here you have the final results of this look.